Today I was just thinking that, this memory loss is such an interesting thing, and we are basically dealing with spiritual amnesia. So we've forgotten who we are, or we've forgotten our virtues, our powers, and it's a very interesting situation where Baba, who knows the reality of us, is every day explaining, reinforcing it to us, and then we don't get it accurately. We get it bit by bit, but then not accurately. And basically, every day Baba is just reviving our memory and bringing us to the awareness of who we really are. And this journey is really interesting when you look at it as spiritual amnesia. And this thing about yoga that Baba speaks every day, that you have yoga with me. Now, you see, this word yoga is sometimes you think that you have to of course we have to practice having yoga, but what does it look like when you have total yoga with Baba? So have you seen that in the world also, when you have yoga with a human being, so who do you have yoga with in the world? So the child has yoga with the parent, yes, and the child is in total yoga with the parent. And then in that connection, in that intellect, the connection of the intellect and the heart, so the child and the parent both are able to transfer feelings, thoughts, ideas to each other, sometimes even without saying. So I remember there was this little child, and there was the mother, and what happened is I gave both of them bhog, and then the mother said, "No, Didi, today I will take only a little, and I will not take too much." So she took one spoonful of bhog, and then she was sitting, and I saw the child was not eating. And the child was not eating, and when I went out, then the child silently asked his mother, "Do you want to eat mine? You refused yours, maybe it was impolite, so that's why you refused yours. Do you want to eat mine?" And he asked his mother, and when his mother said, no, if I had to eat, I could have eaten my bhog. So then the child ate the bhog. So he was waiting that maybe his mother had some other reason to refuse refuse taking the whole bhog, and she took only 2 spoons, maybe because of some hidden reason, and he had to verify it from the mother. And then he only accepted bhog after that, because he thought maybe my mom has some other reason and that's why she's not eating, so let me give it to her first. And you see, these are such beautiful, so when you are connected with the heart, you are always thinking about the other, and you're trying to understand the other even when the other person is not saying anything. And this is yoga. This is what yoga looks like. So and you see that yoga enables you to even listen. So you see, you hear many people, but you hear many sounds in the day, but who do you listen to? You don't listen from the ears, you listen from the heart. You hear from the ears, but then you listen from the heart. And who do you listen to? it's the one you have yoga with. So, yoga is what enables you to listen. Yoga is what enables you to internalize. So, sometimes I have seen children who are, those who were once little children and now they're 50 years of age, 60 years of age. And then when they come with some trouble, with some mental issue, some trouble of anxiety, something else, then you ask them what happened, and they will say that as a child, my mother commented like this, or my father said this, and this had a deep impact on me, and it shifted my personality and affected it adversely. And then you tell them, it's okay, you let go of it. Then they say, not very easy to let go. It's my mother who said it, it's my father who said it. So you see that whatever when you have yoga with someone, then you listen to what they say, you take it to heart. It starts to change you for the better or worse when you have yoga with someone. And then you very subtly imbibe their ideas, their qualities. You become like them, even without your knowing that you're becoming like them. So that is yoga. And this is why when Baba comes, then Baba every day tells us that I'm your real mother and father. And you have not had yoga with me for very long. And yoga is done with the intellect, but it's not an intellectual exercise. It's not an intellectual exercise. It's a matter of the heart. And when we listen to the Murli every day, we kind of are reminded. So I started with spiritual amnesia. So slowly, with everyday study of the Murli, the soul comes back to the awareness or the memory that I am a soul, and this is my Father. And this is the one I have all relationships with. And he is the one who I have all attainments with. And then this is the one who has come from the soul world, and he's carrying out his role as the father and mother to me, the soul. And the more and more I start to understand it, my heart gets connected to Baba. And then when my heart gets connected to Baba, then that is called yoga. And when your heart is with Baba, then whenever you read the Murli, you understand that this is Baba talking to you. Then whatever Baba is saying just goes into your heart, and it starts creating a shift there. And from the heart it goes into your attitude, your action. And then this is what makes you slowly, gradually Bap Saman. So you start becoming like him, you start thinking like him, speaking like him, behaving like him, and doing karma like him. So when Baba says that you need to have vision like me, how do you have vision like Baba? When you have yoga with Baba. So when I was a little, when I was 6 or 7 years old, I did not know that you should treat guests with a lot of respect. But I knew that when they come, my parents treat them with a lot of respect. So I knew that I have to do as my parents do. I can't do something other than what my parents do. So I also respected them. I had no reason to respect them. I didn't even understand who they are, or why they need to be respected, but you do as your parent. So Baba says, just like when your heart is in yoga with Baba, then when you have yoga with Baba, your drishti becomes like Baba's drishti. When Baba looks at everyone with love, you also start looking at everyone with love. So have you seen that even when you have yoga with a friend, then his enemy becomes your enemy. So you also start hating the same person they don't like. So it's that same thing. So you start having the same love and respect that Baba has for everyone, because you have yoga with Baba. So yoga with Baba starts influencing your drishti, your attitude, your words. So you wouldn't speak to someone words which Baba won't speak to them, because your connection, that you are Baba's child. You have yoga with Baba, and not even that knowing, that deep sense of who you are comes from when you have yoga with Baba. So Baba says that, but it all starts with practice, so fake it till you make it. So in the beginning you don't realize you're a soul, you don't realize this is my father, this is the one who has come to give me everything. That's not a realization in the beginning. But in the beginning you just you go with, suppose this is my father, and suppose I have all relationships with him, and suppose he is what he says in the Murli, and suppose all that the Murli says is true. And then you start thinking about yourself and him and about the drama in accordance with what he talks about in the Murli. And then slowly, gradually, you come to that realization that I am a soul and this is Baba. And it is definitely getting back your memory, because just like when you lose your memory, even if you are a doctor, you cannot operate. Yes, because you've lost your memory. Similarly, when Baba says, you are the master bestowers, you are the master almighty, you are the master ocean of peace, you are the master ocean of love, in the beginning it makes no sense. So when Baba says, you have the capacity to change any heart by being the master ocean of love. So just like Baba's love changes us, we have the capacity to stay loveful and stay continuously loveful until the other one changes. So that love is transformative, and we have the capacity to be the master ocean of love. But then with that yoga with Baba, slowly, gradually, those capacities in us emerge, because we are basically deities. We are basically like Baba. We are made in the image of God. So Baba is the ocean of everything, and we are also the embodiment of everything. But it takes some time for us to realize who we are, and only the more and more we have yoga with Baba, the realization starts to grow over us. So this is what yoga is all about. And these days, when I came into Gyan, for a very long time, I thought that maybe, I can stay peaceful in this kind of a situation, but not in that kind of a situation. So, you always have these limitations inside you, that you can stay peaceful if this happens, but if that happens, you can't stay peaceful. Or you can be loveful until this point, but if this crosses the line, then you cannot be loveful after that. But slowly, gradually, when you start looking at Baba and seeing and observing that he is an ocean and he's relentless and so continuous and he's always himself, and then when you start seeing yourself as Baba's child, you also understand that there is no limit to your virtues, or there is no limit to your powers also. You don't ask the question, how much I can tolerate. So, people, so there is this question that everybody asks, we can love, but how much and how long? Or I can tolerate, but how much and for how long? But once you start realizing who you are, you don't ask these questions. You know that just like Baba can't ask these questions, you also have infinite capacity. And by being Baba's child, you have got that capacity as inheritance. And when a child is born, he becomes the one who has the inheritance, but only when he grows up, he claims the inheritance. So similarly, Baba says that I give you everything from the first day, but as you grow on this journey, you start realizing what treasures you really have and what is it that is there in your treasure store. So you start realizing it slowly, gradually, as you mature, as you start following what Baba says. And yoga is really a matter of the heart. It's not an intellectual exercise. And you have, the more you realize, this is my Baba, this is my mother, and this is the one who gives me everything. Because you see that today Baba says in the Murli many times that I am the creator and everyone is just a creation. And everybody is brother and sister or brother and brother to each other. Nobody is the father. But in the world, what does Baba mean by these lines? Baba says that no soul can give any soul what they are really seeking. No soul can give you what you are really seeking. And only I can give you what you're really seeking. So Baba says that when you move with this idea that human beings can give you what you're really seeking, then you are making a mistake, because that's not how it is. No human being can give any human being what they are really seeking. So, and Baba says that what you're really seeking is true peace and true happiness. Yes, and then what you get is piecemeal peace and piecemeal happiness. Yes, and then you think that is happiness, but that is just an illusion of happiness. And then as soon as you want to grab it, it slips off. But what you're really seeking is true happiness. And I remember, there was this one brother, and he told me that these days we don't have real ghee. So I said, no, we have ghee, and you can, so whatever ghee we are getting is okay. So I said, no, you have not seen real ghee, na? So the elder people, they they talk about their times and how the milk used to be pure and the ghee used to be pure, and then we don't get it because we've forgotten that ghee and that milk. We have not forgotten, of course, because we have tasted it, but now we don't remember it because it's another birth. So this generation, of course, we have had it in our last birth, but now we don't remember. So similarly, when Baba says happiness, what do you think? That limited happiness. So, what is happiness these days? When you ask people, you can try this, you can put it on your Facebook, what is happiness? Then people will say going on a holiday is happiness, or eating an ice cream is happiness, or watching a movie together with your loved one is happiness. So just think about how our quality has gotten so bad. So we Satyugi souls, now we talk about happiness, which is not even like peanuts, it is like chane, Baba says in the Murli. So it is like chickpeas. So we are running after chickpeas, whereas we were the owners of ultimate happiness in the world. So Baba says, you have been pursuing happiness and peace for so long, and there is this word these days very fashionable, pursuit of happiness, and everybody says I am in pursuit of happiness. But Baba says there is you don't have to pursue happiness, and you have been pursuing it for 2500 years, and then because you thought it is unattainable, you have come to a point where you think, okay, we deserve only this much. So, only this much is good enough. And then we glorify that chickpea happiness. How do you glorify that chickpea happiness? At least one person is in the family is talking to you nicely. In my family, nobody is talking to me nicely. So, at least you are so fortunate that you have one person with you who is talking to you nicely. So, we have made our standards so low. And then Baba says that now I have come and I am recreating that world of happiness for you, where you have the happiness that you deserve. And in one Murli, I think in Sunday's Murli, Baba said that in Satyug, there are all four kinds of happiness. The sukh of the body, the sukh of the mind, the sukh of relationships, and the sukh of wealth, and absolute happiness. And Baba says nothing fails you in Satyug. And Baba says that you have been hankering after human beings and after things and after so even with physical happiness, you think that the doctor will give you tan ka sukh. Yes, so no, he can't give you tan ka sukh. He can't make you until you see the doctor, you don't know that medical science also can't give you physical health. So physical health also you can't get. Mental peace you want, you are going to people, you're going to sadhus, gurus, you're going to meditation classes. They can't give you mental peace, that which you're seeking really, that which can satisfy you. Anybody coming back from an operation, you ask them, are you feeling absolutely healthy in the body? They will never say yes. So, temporarily they will feel, okay, I have gotten better, but then it's never absolute. Mental peace, never absolute in the world. Relationships, you ask anybody, do you have perfect relationships? No. You ask anybody, do you have enough wealth? So enough as in you don't want more? They would say, no, it's never enough. We want more. So Baba says, but in Satyug, you ask anybody, do you have perfect health? Yes. Perfect state of mind? Yes. Perfect relationships? Yes. And do you have limitless wealth? Yes. And Baba says, this is why you stop having your intellect's yoga with this world, and you start having your yoga with me. So because you have only one intellect, you have only one buddhi, the more you make your buddhi wander in this world, it will It is wandering after chickpeas and it is leaving what Baba can give. So, because you have only one buddhi, it is engaged in the old world, it is away from Baba. And in the old world, we are making our buddhi wander so much. We are making our buddhi wander over worldly, what you call worldly wisdom. You are making your buddhi wander over worldly sense. You think that, somebody will give you some solution, somebody will give you some wisdom which will take you out of your troubles. You are wandering over people to give you love, give you sambandh ka sukh. You are wandering over you are making your intellect engaged in business and work so that you can get money. But Baba says, you cannot get real happiness by making your buddhi wander in this world. So Baba says, of course, when you're sick, you will go to the doctor. Of course, you will, you will create, you will try to be nice to people. You will try to do a job. Everything you will do. But then understand that this is only management. So, body management, wealth management, or, management of relationships. Because in this world, it can't be perfect. But if it can't be perfect, you can't throw it away. So, it can't be perfect. So, you manage it. Because that's what you have now. That's the best you can do. So, keep managing it. But Baba says that don't have your buddhi yoga with it. What is buddhi yoga? Don't attach your emotions, desires, expectations from them. So just know that they're there. You will go there. The doctor will give you the medicine. Anybody who will give you their experience, they will share their wisdom with you, they will share their experience with you. But then, or the relationships you have, they will do the best they can, but they cannot give you what you're truly seeking. And what you're truly seeking will come from Baba. But the interesting and important thing is, you don't have to choose either or. It's not like whether you remember Baba or you be with people, places and things. So Baba says, Baba asks two questions today. Baba says, if you're eating food, can't you remember Baba? So why do you have to take a fast in bhakti and remember Baba? So eat and remember Baba, no problem. Baba says the body will also be fed and your intellect's yoga has to be with me. Baba says, can't you sew clothes and remember Baba? Sew clothes and remember Baba means, can't you do your work and remember Baba? Is it necessary that you take a leave from job and remember Baba? No. You can be on the job, be in the business and remember Baba. So, is it important that when you are on the job and the business, you can't remember Baba? Is it like when you're on the job, your fidelity lies there and you can't remember Baba? No. Baba says, do everything because, okay, the finances have to be managed, the body has to be managed. You can't throw it away, right? It's there. So you have to do the work, you have to manage the body. But don't have your buddhi yoga with it. Don't attach your heart, your desire, your expectation with it. Because you must understand that they do not have the capacity to give you what you are seeking. They can only give you temporary everything, and you need that temporary stuff so that you can prepare for the long term. Yes, so because in Sangam Yuga we have to make effort and we have to prepare ourselves for Satyug. So we need this body, we need the resources. So Baba says, you do all of that. You have to manage what you have because that resource will help you earn what you need to do in the long term. But don't attach your heart to it. And how do you not attach your heart to it? Simply by understanding very well that they don't have the capacity to give me that which I am seeking. And only Baba, this remembrance of Baba, will change you in a manner. So when you remember Baba, you become like Baba, and when you become like Baba, you deserve that Satyugi world. So Baba says, keep these two things going simultaneously. So when Baba says, remove your buddhi yoga, he doesn't mean that you leave everything. You have to be with everything, but no heart, no expectation with that. And just know that they are here temporarily. You have to be with everybody. Temporarily, they are the resources with which you will do your Sangam Yugi Purusharth, and then you will go to that world which you really deserve. You don't deserve chickpeas, you deserve much more. So Baba says, this is what we need to understand. And people really don't understand what Baba means by happiness. So, and I'm asking you, you can put it up on Facebook, what is happiness to you? And then people will give you these answers, happiness is eating an ice cream, watching a movie, going on a holiday, this and that. People have no idea what happiness is. And Baba says, this is what happiness is, this is what Satyug was, and this is the happiness you deserved. And you are pursuing it in the wrong place. And Baba says happiness, and then Baba gives us one very important law today, which is purity is the seed of happiness and peace. So you want to go to that world where there is infinite happiness, you need purity. And what is the method for purity? Yoga. Because only Baba is the ocean of purity, nobody is pure. And if you have yoga in this dirty world, then obviously you cannot be pure. So Baba says, you want to be pure, you have to have yoga with me. And this is why Baba is every day talking to us, so that we are awakened from our amnesia and we start seeing Baba, we start understanding that He's the one I have all relationships with, He's the one who is going to give me everything. And then when my heart gets connected, that is when I start to become pure. That is when I start to realize, oh, I'm really like my Baba, purity is my original nature. What had I been thinking for so long? So this is something that Baba is talking about in the Murli. And then today Baba says, don't make your intellect wander. So, and Baba says, keep it busy. Busy in what? Busy in remembering Baba and busy in churning points of knowledge. Yes, because your intellect needs food all the time. Yes, people say food for thought, but it is actually food for the intellect. Yes, and do you know that eating can be the reason for health and eating can be the reason for illness, both. So if you eat the right kind of food, then it will give you health. If you eat the wrong kind of food, it will make your stomach upset. So Baba says, these points of knowledge are healthy food for the buddhi. And when you don't keep your intellect busy in feeding over these points of knowledge, churning these points of knowledge, then where does the intellect get busy? Eating all the wrong kind of stuff. Yes, and there is a very good example. We say, if you churn dirty water, you get bad smell. And if you churn milk, you get butter. So Baba says, keep your intellect busy in churning Baba's Gyan, in churning these points, and don't let it wander. If it is free, if it is wandering, then it will cause damage to itself. And Baba says, when you keep it busy in churning points of knowledge, then what happens? Whenever there is somebody before you, your intellect is functioning accurately, and then you will give them what they need. Your buddhi will have the accuracy to give someone what they need if you keep your buddhi busy in churning knowledge. You will not say that I forgot to say this point. If I had spoken this, maybe they would have understood. So this is also something that Baba says. And then today Baba says that keep yourself busy in, maintain the decoration of spirituality and divinity. So Baba says, make divinity and spirituality the decoration of your life, and ordinariness will finish. Now, do you remember that when you put on a lot of decoration, adornment, shringar? So in Hindi the word is shringar. So when you do a lot of shringar, even when you put on face makeup or maybe a lipstick or something, then you have to keep checking it because it can get smudged and make you very ugly. And Baba says that if the decoration is not in place, then it spoils the whole thing. So Baba says, always keep this conscious adornment of divinity and spirituality. So how do you do this shringar? So just like you have an ornament for every organ. So you have an ornament for the forehead, for the eyes, for center of eyes, for the lips, the hands, everything. So Baba says, adorn yourself with spiritual ornaments. What will you wear here? You will wear here Baba's remembrance. What do you apply here? Soul consciousness. What is this? How do you adorn your eyes? You adorn your eyes with soul conscious vision. How do you speak? Speak lovingly. Speak sweetly. Yes. What should be in your hands? You should always be a giver. Yes. What should be your feet adorned with? Your feet should always move in the direction where there is seva. So Baba says, adorn every organ of your body, every organ of the soul with the spiritual decoration, and keep checking yourself. And then ordinariness will finish. Because if you are not making conscious effort, then ordinariness will come naturally. And Baba is not talking about negativity. Baba is talking about not being ordinary. Because in Sangam Yuga, being ordinary is our greatest, being ordinary is our greatest enemy. Because in the world, people think that being ordinary is good enough, or in fact better. But Baba says, no, you are being trained to be a deity, so stop being ordinary. And if you don't want to be ordinary, how do you go about it? So you decorate yourself with this jewels of divinity and spirituality. So just think about how you would decorate yourself today, and then keep checking your decoration. Don't let it fall off. Don't let it get smudged. Okay, Om Shanti.